What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Square One Podcast. Got a real special one coming for y'all today. Who I got here with me, man? Introduce yourself.
Hey, y'all got me. Oh.
Nah, I don't know why he being nervous. He just had a podcast before
I wasn't
that.
being nervous. My name Tavion, y'all. What's good? I attend Prairie View University, third year, civil engineering major,
Civil engineer. All right,
Civil
so yeah,
engineering.
he kind of already gave my little introduction because I was gonna ask him, to give that, but regardless, we could just go straight into it. So y'all can see by the title, what we trying to do is give y'all a little insight on what it's like to go to a PWI, which basically means predominantly white institution, versus going to a HBCU, which means historically black college or university. As a black student, of course.
Yeah.
And first, as a disclaimer, we want to make sure that our actions and our words are, seen in the correct way. So when y'all watching this isn't supposed to be a dig at HBCUs. It's not supposed to be a dig at PWIs.
Exactly.
And this isn't supposed to incite any race debates or none like that. You know what I'm saying? We just happen to be two black college students.
Yeah.
We chose two different lanes.
Just giving opinions,
Giving opinions, and we respect each other's opinions. Yeah, so just wanted to get that disclaimer so y'all don't get the wrong message, you know what I'm saying? So basically, we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to ask him the question, then I'll tell my little side. Okay. So what made you pick a HBCU and Prairie View and A&M in particular?
Well, from the start, I actually was thinking about going to a PWI. And then I kind of just didn't know exactly what I wanted and where I wanted to go. So I kind of just applied everywhere because I think I got accepted to like 60 plus schools, something like that. That's including HBCUs, PWIs, just all schools for real, small schools and stuff. But originally I wasn't thinking about an HBCU, but then, both my cousins went to HBCUs and they had pretty good experiences, and I liked the vibe and the culture. So I was like, I think I said I'm not opposed to HBCU.
Facts.
But I felt like I thought a PWI would have gave me more money. Right. And it would have been cheaper for me to attend. But it was actually the opposite. Prairie View gave me enough money to attend, and it was like very cheap for me and my family. So
that's great.
Affordable, that's the word.
Yeah, affordable.
It was more affordable for me and my family. Plus, it was an HBCU, so I felt like the culture, I'm used to that because here in St. Louis, you know how the
it's a little different. Yeah, in St. Louis, so we went to black high schools, so it's kind of like when you go into a HBCU, it's kind of a continuation of what you had already been doing. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it wasn't a culture shock for me. So I just felt like, I'm just gonna be at home and I'm gonna find my people. So that's how I ended up at Prairie View. And then what was the second part of the question?
And Prairie View, A&M in particular. So I think you kind of answered that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So to give a little insight on me, y'all can see by the shirt, WashU is where I go currently, but I used to go to DePaul. So my first year after my high school, year, went through senior year, I ended up choosing DePaul University. You know what I'm saying? It was in Chicago. I always liked Chicago as a kid, so I was like, let me check it out, see what's to it. So that was also PWI. School was like, it was pretty diverse. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it just a lot of times when they say PWI, it's just meaning that like white people are the majority. But then that doesn't mean there's not any like minorities in a PWI because like there was a lot of Hispanics and just a lot of like different cultures. So it was definitely cool to get to see that because like Chicago was like a eye opener for me because when I went to a PWI, I kind of learned how people thought differently and how people just kind of like lived differently, like being able to like speak 3 languages, not something you really saw in our high school. You know what I'm saying? So that was always an interesting part to me. And plus, like, since I'm a marketing major, marketing business, I think it's always important for me to communicate between different cultures. So it's not that I didn't want to go to a HBCU or I had like some stigma towards it, because I know there are some people that think of HBCUs in a bad light, which I don't really understand. But I think I was able to understand HBCUs can be cool and I should definitely look into them. But at the end, I ended up just figuring out, all right, I want to go to Chicago, and I got to pick the best Chicago school. After that, coming back to WashU, kind of the same thing. It's like, it's not really depending on if it's a PWI or HBCU. To me, it was more about, is it a good school versus the other school? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's basically like me picking WashU over Harris Stowe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the finances too.
Yeah, that's a good part. That's a good point. Yeah. I like that you brought that up because DePaul, crazy financially. I actually made a video, bro. You don't even know this. I made a video about DePaul pros and cons. It got like 5,000 views.
Just it was just you?
Yeah, it was just me. It was just me. I don't know if it's 5,000. It was like 3,000. It's archived on my old channel.
Oh, okay.
Like, since you started attending, what are some things you noticed about your HBCU that you didn't expect coming in?
I didn't expect for like the professors to be diverse for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's a really good thing though.
That's interesting.
Is we have professors from like many different countries. Like I know my counselor was telling me they hired a new professor in my department. I don't remember what country she said, but I thought she said something like Ireland or something. Like he's coming
crazy.
far, exactly. And I think it's good to get like a perspective for like at least for engineering. I can't really speak for like other majors for real, but getting that perspective from like from a different country, for somebody with a different background and from what they grew up on, kind of could help the United States, like with the infrastructure and stuff. Like,
for sure.
So
it gives you a different perspective.
Yeah,
like,
so we can move forward in a better way.
It gives you new ideas.
Exactly. So that's one thing I didn't expect from my HBCU. I also didn't expect, I'm not gonna lie, and I know a lot of people be like, yeah, it's an HBCU, you should expect it.
Yeah.
But I did not expect for HBCU, like my HBCU homecoming to pop like
to
that.
Be busting.
Yeah, like when you a PV homecoming, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, everybody from Houston is coming to PV because we sit right like 50 minutes outside of downtown Houston.
Right.
So it's low key a slight drive. Like it's not that bad. Like, me and my friends, we be going like every other weekend type. So I didn't expect the whole Houston to like come all the way up 290.
That is crazy.
For that homecoming. It was good. Like that's a really good thing. And then I guess my last thing is what I didn't expect from my HBCU. I didn't expect the opportunities. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Like that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Opportunities. Like I didn't expect like for companies like Apple and Boeing and stuff. Shout out to them. I didn't expect for big Fortune 500 companies to be coming to us, like a little old Prairie View, because we sit kind of far, and a lot of people don't know about Prairie View outside of Texas or that region or HBCU talks.
Right. Like the discussions.
Discussions
that go on.
and forums and stuff. Like I didn't think they would know much about the school, but Prairie View has a lot of talent. Yeah, and I just feel like it's underrated in a way. Cool. So
I mean, I've always liked being in like programs that are like underrated and like people don't really like look into them, and it's like you guys get to prove them wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I remember I wanted to bring this up because I remember when you first got in, you kind of told me it was like more diverse than you thought it would be, right? So talk about that, because certain people think like when you go to a HBCU, it's strictly black students. Yeah. That's not true though,
That's
right?
not true at all. Like I was thinking that too. Like I didn't want to say too many things.
Yeah, but, I feel you.
When me and my mom got there, because mind you, my mom had never been to HBCU. My mom, she went to community college, and then she ended up having me, so she didn't end up going back. But it was her first time like at a HBCU or a college campus outside of St. Louis, I believe.
Right.
And when she saw like we got a couple Asian students. Yeah. And I think you'd obviously gonna see some white, and then we also saw a decent amount of Hispanic kids as well. Okay. And I felt like I wasn't really shocked, because you got to think Texas is very diverse, and the Hispanic population outnumbers black and white. I think almost combined. Yeah. So, I kind of wasn't really shocked about that. I don't know. I just felt like no matter what a college is labeled, it's gonna be not diverse, but it's gonna have.
You're gonna see other people.
Yeah, you're gonna see other people. I don't care if you go to a HBCU or a PWI. It's like. You're going to go where it's affordable for you and that works for you, and where you think you're going to have a future at, that's where you're going to attend.
So, I know like a lot of people have been on this whole big thing that like college is a scam and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it does give you a cool experience of getting to meet people that you wouldn't have met if you stayed on your block 4 years after, you graduated high school. It's like a lot different, give you a different insight on life.
Prairie View is like, we just one big family. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had this professor, shout out to Dr. Brecky. Like, she was good. She was just telling me how like she wanted to work at like big schools like Texas A&M, UH, and basically she was saying like she couldn't get those jobs and stuff, and they were hiring teachers that was coming out of UT because they wanted better teachers and stuff, but professors, my bad. And she wasn't getting them because I forgot what school she attended. So like she was saying like, well, I want to be like them and get these big jobs. So she ended up kept applying, and still getting denied. So I think she told us that like her dad or something told her to go bigger or something, go over their heads. And she ended up attending Oxford. That's what she told us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she went to Oxford.
That's
and
lit.
then she came back and applied for the same roles and was getting them.
Yeah.
But she said for some reason she came, I forgot what she said, but she came to Torrey PV for something. And she said something about like the culture was unmatched. Like out of all the schools she went and applied to, the culture was unmatched. She was like, y'all holding the doors for each other, doing all this, being respectful, bless you, excuse me, thank
That's
you,
cool.
no thank you. Like she was like, y'all, it's good here. And she said, I felt like I was at home.
Right.
And out of all the big schools, like that's kind of shocking.
Right.
Because you would have thought like they got a sense of community and type of stuff at other schools, but that's what made her come teach at Prairie View because of that. Like,
yeah.
Because of our culture. And
that's good to hear because like she said, like a lot of times when you think of like a college campus environment, like people are off to themselves, not really worried about who's next to them. Not like sometimes you'll ask people things, they will like kind of not really want to help you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear that y'all are more like tight knit though.
Yeah.
Because that's something that like a lot of people need coming right out of high school. They need to be in like a program to where people are looking after them. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. That's why a lot of people end up dropping out because they don't have any support. For me, something that I would say I didn't expect. I guess I kind of talked about it, but like I didn't expect people to be like so different from me. Now I'm not talking about like ethnically, like that's of course people are gonna be like that, but just like you never understand like how different you are until you get around people that have different perspectives than you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that was a really interesting part of like going to class, getting put in the group, and then the group doesn't know the music that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? They don't know certain rappers.
Yeah.
They don't know like people that you might know or foods that you might eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
I mean, that's like the same for me because I'm from St. Louis, so it's like I'm from two different regions.
Yeah.
Like, it's people in Texas who probably never heard of some of the people that we listen to.
Right, facts.
Or things we do or eat, because St. Louis has its own culture, and I feel like every city has its own culture.
Yeah. The next question is like kind of what we were talking about. Do you have anything else to add on to like what the social life and community is like at Prairie View?
Be mindful. Prairie View sits in the middle of like, I'm not gonna say nowhere, but like it's nothing out there because it sits in Prairie View, Texas. The nearest like where you can go shopping and all that is Cypress. It's 20 minutes off 290.
Yeah.
And then, I mean the next big city, because Houston only 50 minutes. It's not that far. But like if you go the other way, it's I think 2 hours on 290. You go to Austin. But I know a lot of people be asking like we got parents and stuff that come on campus that ask people like I think there's like Facebook groups or something my mom was telling me about. They be like, do your kid and stuff need groceries and this type of stuff, and they try to help everybody for real. Like we try to be there for each other for real. Like even if it ain't your friends or something, somebody needs some support or something, you could try to help them. And I feel like a lot of people at PV actually do that, and they got sympathy for others a little bit. So I think that's like the best way to put it, because we in college and a lot of us, I'm not gonna say a lot of us are far from home because Prairie View don't have, I'm not gonna say too many out-of-state students, but it's more in-state.
Yeah.
Because that would make sense. But the community, I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's unmatched.
Unmatched, yeah.
Yeah, like, we try to help each other out where we can. We all want to see each other succeed and pass and all that.
That's good.
And even, like, from, needing to get places, emergencies, I'm pretty sure you could find a ride on campus from somebody. Yeah, like
that's dope.
People try to help out wherever they can for real.
Oh, that's
especially
dope.
My people. Shout out to them.
Oh yeah, shout out his friend group. Yeah, I would say for WashU, well, maybe I'll start with DePaul, the social life community.
Bro, that ain't your school no more. You don't have to keep.
But
okay.
Yeah, because I'm trying to give them a little. I'm trying to give them more. Yeah,
okay.
exactly. So, because they both PWI, so I'll just give them one. So DePaul social life community, it was dead. I ain't gonna lie. I think anybody who go there or like at least in my class, like we would all say the same thing. Like it had a community college feel, but we was at a 4-year university. So it's like you go in there and nobody really talks to each other. Nobody, like student center, quiet all the time. Basically anywhere you go, any academic center, any building, most likely not gonna be a lot of people talking. Like of course there's gonna be certain people who know 2 or 3 people. But then again, like, I guess kind of the thing is, like, some people are just, like, so different we don't like know how to connect. I guess that's a issue that we have sometimes. But then again, people might, they might have found their community at DePaul. I never know. But speaking on WashU, I do like WashU's community in the sense that people here are, obviously it's a more competitive school. So like, I don't know what the acceptance rate is, like probably like 12%, 13%.
Very low.
Yeah, very low. So like it's really hard to get in. And for a lot of schools like that, there's a lot of competition because people are like, you got in, but I still want to have better grades than you. So people do, like, if you go to like U Chicago or like some of these high caliber schools, they just won't help you. You know what I'm saying? They won't help you on tests. Like, that's just not something they do. They don't study together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's all about being the best because if you help somebody else, if you help somebody else, you might be they might take your job. Yeah. That's how they look at it. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to one of my managers, and one of his companions, or I think it's like his friend's wife or something, goes to Yale, and she's in like an MBA program. And she told me she told him that like everyone at the Yale MBA program is like super competitive. They all come from money, so they're all rich. And apparently she doesn't like come from like the same area as them, so they kind of like don't look at her as like the same. They stick their nose out at her and stuff. And like she also told him like you just really can't be helped there. Like everyone there is just doing their own thing, not really. They're isolated. You know what I'm saying? You gotta definitely consider that whenever you're going to a PWI, HBCU, regardless of what it is. It should feel like a family. You should be able to meet people that are gonna be lifelong friends. How is it working with the financial aid department? Break this down, man. Are they helpful? HBCU's got a big stigma. People be like, financial aid be taking 20 years. People be elderly when they get their refund back. No, I don't know.
Okay.
People say that.
Okay. Now with the refunds, you get your refund, I think, on the 12th class day. So that's really not that far, not that long for real. So I think the refunds are okay. I can't speak for like, because some people end up getting refunds after that. So I don't know nothing about that. I just know you usually get your refund on the 12th class day. I know about that. And then like the overall financial aid department, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I've had experience with the financial aid department, and I ain't gonna go too full in depth. Yeah,
we're not trying to like go at. Yeah, we're not bashing them. Yeah. He's just trying to tell his story.
I feel like that it depends on who you with, because some people who actually work in financial aid and all that stuff, they actually care and they want to help and they are listening to you and they trying to see what they can actually do. But some people are just there for their paycheck and they don't care. So like, you got to find the right people. And I just feel like when it comes to HBCU financial aid departments, because I have heard like the thing
you
behind
heard
that.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe they need to do more consideration when it comes to hiring some of the people. Because, I mean, I've seen some of the experience, some of the stories and stuff I've heard, like, through social media and stuff, like how rude people was and stuff to them. I would say, like, just make sure you keep note of, like, how these people are treating you and, try to take it over their heads. I'm not going to lie. So sometimes you have to go over their heads to try to get where you need to get. Right. Because everybody have a goal and a destination they need to reach. It's kind of hard though. Sometimes them lines be long at the beginning of the semester. Yeah. To get into financial aid and all crazy. That. But I can see where people coming from with it. But it low key just depends on your school. For sure. Some schools got it better than others. That's really all I can say. I mean, like you mean like financial aid do Prairie View get like decent?
Oh, I mean, you could go into it however you wanted to. I was just talking about like the department, but if you want to talk about the money situation,
I'm gonna be completely honest. I think the money that I got, like maybe like departmental scholarships, maybe major scholarships, maybe just the college and engineering scholarships. I don't think I've received like no scholarship through like financial aid besides my outside stuff. Okay. So I don't.
So they just. From what you've seen so far, like the opportunities are kind of just like set at major and that's it.
I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. So I'm just saying like that's for me since I'm engineering, I'm college of engineering. I think that's where I get some of like the little grants and scholarships I be getting. But like outside of that, I'm not sure. Yeah. And I never really, that's a good question. Like I never really ask people around about financial. I just feel like when it comes to financial aid, it's like low key just your business.
Yeah. Some people they don't like. That's another thing. Don't go around like asking people like how much refund check you get. Like you don't know who's willing to tell you and who's not.
Yeah.
Let people tell you.
Yeah, I'm just giving my experience.
Yeah, because I've had people tell me like, yeah, I'm doing this loan plan. I'm on a $25,000 loan plan, and I'll be like, okay, that's interesting. Like, what's your plan to pay it off or whatever? Yeah. But I would never ask somebody like how much they're paying in loans, or just make sure you are respectful of people's financials.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. DePaul's financial aid, bro. I don't want to keep hating on DePaul, bro, but dude, this is the craziest part, bro. I remember it was the last quarter, and you remember when I was telling you I was about to go back to Flow. You thought I was lying, bro. So I figured out they had raised the tuition, the cost of attendance for next year. So I was looking at it and I was like, bro, what? Like, I had no more scholarship, nothing. Like, they had got rid of my scholarships, because a lot of times freshman year you get a lot more scholarships than you do the other years, because
that luring tactic.
Yeah, exactly. And then we were in the SDL Foundation of Scholarships or whatever.
Yeah. And
they just give away like a bunch of first year. That's how they get you. They all first year ones. So you think you got all this money coming in? Nah, it's only 1 year. So yeah, basically, long story short, I go to financial aid. I email them and tell them I do not think I'm gonna be able to pay this, and I'm like asking them, is there anything we could do? Can we set up a meeting? I didn't hear back, bro.
That's a wicked. Wait, did you ever pay your balance?
Oh yeah, I paid. Everything's paid off there. I'm saying this was for the upcoming one. I was like, hey, I don't want to leave this school next year, but I don't think I can pay this. And they didn't even contact me back. Like, they didn't care. So I'm like, and this wasn't at a time, and people are probably like, yeah, you should have just went in or whatever. I tried multiple things. I tried talking to people. Nobody was really trying to help me out there. It was really just every man for yourself. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So far with WashU, I have not had any issue with any problems.
Heard y'all got some of the best financial aid in the country.
It's good. It's a pretty good financial aid plan, because like, if you're able to, it's need based. So they basically try to match. Yeah, they try to match like 100% of what you need. So like, if you do come from like a low income family, they will probably give you a lot more financial aid. But a lot of times, what you need to watch out for is if you're like a middle class college student, it's gonna be the hardest for you to finance it, because you guys don't have as much financial means as like the higher class, but they still expect you to pay a lot of money. Yeah, so taxes. So that's when it comes, like when Tavion's talking about, find a one that's affordable for you, because don't get wrapped up in, oh, my friend's going to this school, or this school seems cool, the football game is gonna be decent. Bro, you're not going to be worried about that when the loans come through. I'm trying to tell you, like, it gets real.
Then you start working, and then you paying loans. You can't live your life.
Full-time job, full-time student.
You trying to go to Hawaii and stuff, but you got to pay them student loans.
No, it get real.
And they talking about, like, student loan payments are high.
Yeah, it get wicked.
$600 a month plus.
It get wicked, bro. Yeah. So I originally had, like, 3 pros and 3 cons, but basically how many that you want to discuss. What are some pros? What are some cons of going to a HBCU, particularly Prairie View?
I'll start with the pros. The pros, I feel like the sense of community, the small class sizes. Like, I can't speak for every department, but I feel like for engineering so far, all the classes I've been in, my classes have never been like over 30.
That's good.
I mean, my bio class was like, I think it was 75 in there, but I ended up trading it for an online option. Okay. So the small class, they try to keep the class sizes small, but like if it's a big class like bio or something like that, they gonna have to make it.
Yeah. Those classes are like intro, bio.
Yeah, stuff like that. Crazy. And then another thing another pro I will say is like,
you need time to think about it, or we could bounce back.
Yeah. What's your pros?
Okay. Yeah. I'll say my pros are, 1, resources. We are literally in a resource right now. We in a podcast studio. Shout out HRH. He back. He in the cut. You know what I'm saying? It's no way. I'm not going to say, but I'm saying the schools I've went to so far, they have not been this accommodating. Like, we have a podcast studio right here. It's a video studio right here, to where you could do like white, I don't even know, you know, the white wall videos they be doing, the 20v1 type joints. Yeah. They got that right there. And then they got the music studio. So, bro, that's only a little bit of the resources that they have here, bro. It's so much that you could get into, the library resources, and I'm not even getting into the network. You could really get into WashU Connect and meet a bunch of alumni, and you could get a internship, I'm sure, if you just continue to like talk to these people because they want to connect with you. That's the coolest part about it. And then I would say also our class sizes, because like we have a smaller student body. I think we're like 7,000 or something. That's really good. You know, it's good to have smaller classes because you get to actually know the professors. Professors that I've had so far are really cool, and they actually like want to get to know you, learn a little bit about you. So I find it dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm still new to WashU, so I'm still trying to figure it all out. But that's the pros that I've had so far. Do you have a few right now?
You got your third one?
Oh, third. I could probably come up with a third one. I would say the third one is like kind of like, I would say just the experience, overall experience.
Yeah.
You get to be a part of something bigger than, you know, a high school, you know, bigger than a community college. You get to be a part of something that's like actually changing the world. You know, they give you like articles when you're a part of the school, and when they give us the WashU like newsletter, we can see like what WashU's doing in the news, and they're always doing research that's, you know, global. You know, in Australia they're doing something. So it's just crazy to think like you can really meet somebody from anywhere that knows about WashU. Because even like a friend was telling me that like she tutors at STLCC with me, and she was just telling me like, yeah, I was in Italy and they knew about WashU, and I was like, that's crazy. Like you could, it's really one of them like opportunities to where like you get to feel like you're playing for a big team. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like that, like it's like playing in the big leagues. But like, not to say it to get big headed though. Like it, at the end of the day, I don't really think prestige is the best thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can find a smaller school that you get a full ride at, and you get, you know, find a community there, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't need WashU to be successful. It's just kind of cool just to get to be a part of, like I said, kind of a big team. So
I mean, I was going to say another pro I probably could say is that like we actually have some pretty good like staff, professors and stuff on campus who actually care. Like, my old academic advisor, like before they went through the changes with that, like she actually genuinely cared, and she wanted to do anything in her power to help me. And I also had professors like the same way, like they want to see you pass, they want to see you succeed. You know, if you know you struggling, you know, you can come to them. Like it ain't never like, you know, like it ain't never like a problem if you need assistance. Like I'll say that, and I'll probably get one more pro. It's a variety of everybody. Like everybody trying to do something. Like you need, you know, grad pictures or something. It's easy to find a photographer. I know girls be getting their nails and hair braided and all that. Finding people left and right. Us guys, like getting our haircut, finding that.
That's the cool thing about HBCU.
Exactly. Like everybody is all, you know, everybody trying to make a hustle. And I feel like that we gotta, since we're black, you know, we gotta be able to find people that do us. Who cater to us.
Definitely.
With my school, with PV, I just feel like everybody, you know, find they people who they need for they everyday needs and stuff. You know, care and, you know, hygiene and all that. Like, I say that.
Okay.
I can get into the cons. It's kind of hard with the cons.
So. I can start it off, I guess. Okay. And like when we say these cons, we not trying to bash these schools. You know what I'm saying? So if you are, you know, a faculty at these school or whatever, we're just trying to give our experience to the best ability and be the most truthful. I would say my first con would probably be like the fact that there's so much going on. It makes you feel like you have to perform at this higher level sometimes at WashU, just for the simple fact that like people expect you to be some super genius or like able to, you know, see certain things, know certain things, but like you can't be everywhere at once. So a lot of times when I've been here, I've been trying to like kind of always like keep myself humble and like understanding, you go to this big school or whatever, or this school that's kind of known in the region, but that's not you. You know what I'm saying? You have to figure out who you are as an individual, and that's what I'm working on. I would say the cost can be a con sometimes because, like I said, I'm middle class, so it's not going to be like the most financial aid, but I'm not going to lie, they were kind of generous with my financial aid. It's just, you know, I understand now I'm going to have to give up some money, you know what I'm saying? So I have to have those conversations, make sure that everything's up to date, and like you said, got to keep hustling because You know what I'm saying? It's either you get put on the loan or you try to pay it off now. I would say the last con I guess was like I'm at the end of the semester. You know, we got one more day left. Yeah, so as this is going, I need to finish a paper. But basically, I did see at the end like the way that they give classes or the way the classes are set up is kind of strange in the sense that it started off really easy. Like it started off like I felt like it was kind of on the same level as SELCC, and it just like gradually tumbles and like they're like I'm not gonna lie, they are heavy on like essays from what I've seen so far. Like they want to see that you can write academically, and not only just write, like you have to be able to give good syntax. You have to be able to make a compelling point. Yeah. It's just so many things that they just expect from you. You know, like when I started the class, they were like, we're going to take this diagnostic. If you can't write a paper well enough in this diagnostic prompt, you're out of the class. So they were going to kick it. They were going to kick me out if I wasn't able to write a good paper. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking like, what even is a good paper? You know what I'm saying? But luckily enough, I did it. I don't know what he was really looking for, but it seemed like it wasn't too crazy. So I'm not going to say like he was looking for the best. But yeah, they definitely do. They expect certain things from you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But compared to other bigger schools, I would say they're a little bit more lenient.
I say for like my cons, the PV, like the location, like since it's right outside of Houston, that's a con because you know some people want to just go to the city, you know, be able to get food because you know schools like UH, TSU, they right in the middle of this heart of the city to Houston, so it's like, dang, they kind of get it a tad bit better and like you know since PV sits so far, you know, like think about like Amazon and stuff, we don't get like Amazon Prime and all the stuff like that. So I'll say the location, apartments, there's only like so many people that can teach certain classes, and sometimes the professors don't be willing to work with people for real, and they just be washy, like especially like engineering. So I just feel like it can some of them professors make them classes hard, but you know you just got to be able to map around them and be respectful and try to get the best out of it, try to pass most importantly. And then another con I would say about Prairie View, I feel like sometimes Prairie View be trying to take the cheap way out of some of the things instead of like actually
solving the problem.
Yeah, like I feel like they don't be solving some of the issues. Like they just try to like put a Band-Aid over it or something.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
that's really that.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah. So I feel like hopefully we gave y'all some points that are, you know what I'm saying. We try to be as honest as possible, you know what I'm saying. But we are still students, so we ain't trying to get failed.
We ain't finna bash our schools.
We ain't finna bash our school because they will come and get us. I ain't gonna lie. So
shout out to Prairie View.
Shout out WashU. You know what I'm saying. Do not cook us, please, please. We love y'all. I guess we could just end off. If you have any advice for, say, this is a black student who's watching this video, trying to figure out, you know, should I go to a PWI or should I go to a HBCU? Just give them some advice on what they should be thinking about when they're making this decision.
Okay, I feel like number one, them finances for sure. That should be your number one priority. I understand, like, you know, campus life, organizations, you know, Greek life. If that's what y'all looking for, those are important things. But I definitely feel like your money, your pocket should be your number one. Like, ain't no way you should be going to a school like where you literally have to max out everything. You can't afford to be there. Like, you need to be able to go to a school where where it's affordable for you and your family. Right. Because at the end of the day, you can meet your groups and meet your people there. There's good people everywhere. It's just you just gotta find them. And I feel like with if you struggling between if I want to choose an HBCU or a PWI, I just feel like it can be hard making that decision. But like think about it, PWIs and stuff, they have organizations like, for example, I know SLU got like a Black Student Association. Right. I'm pretty sure WashU might have it too.
No, like, we definitely got an association of Black students.
Yeah, like stuff like
and
that.
And one of your friends is in the SLU one, right?
Yeah, and then we got like I know my school has like ASA, African Student Association. So that's like, and I'm pretty sure other schools have that. I even think UH has that.
Yeah, probably.
So like they have programs so where you can meet other people like you who, you know, probably were in the same shoes as you for real. Like I went through very similar things growing up, and I feel like like I know some people are, you know, they might be legacies or something, you know, of a fraternity or a sorority or something, and you could do the same thing at a PWI. I feel like that's like the thing about PWIs, even though, you know, you the minority there, you still be able to find your group of people and find organizations with people that you value and stuff. I feel like that'd be like the best part about it, like just finding your people for real.
For sure, yeah.
So like they have stuff like that at PWIs, and then HBCUs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have our our culture and stuff. We have our time, but for real, like if you go to a PWI, you can still go to a HBCU homecoming just for the experience. We, as the HBCU students, we could go to a PWI homecoming just for the experience.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, it's
so don't limit yourself.
Yeah, just don't limit yourself.
Yeah, to only your campus, because you can explore out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with going to big schools. Cause I'm pretty sure people from Rice be like,
a
PV homecoming or like a
it's like even people like in the Boston area, they gonna go to Harvard games.
Exactly.
Yeah, facts. Exactly. So
So
there's nothing wrong with going to another school.
Yeah,
there's nothing shameful about that.
So I say that, and then also like don't be nervous. Like reach out to people, text people. You gotta find roommates and all of that, and gotta find friends and stuff on campus. Don't be afraid to reach out. Just be yourself. That'd be a lot of people's issues when they go to college. Like I feel like they lose themselves because they try to fit into this person that they not.
Right. Yeah.
So I just say be yourself, and like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like even with my friends and stuff, I've just always been myself. Like I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah.
I'm not from Texas.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not trying to fit in, but I'm trying to know like what I need to know about Texas and stuff. But also just keeping my head on my shoulders and stuff. Like I'm not finna sit here and just be somebody else. I'm not.
Right, you're trying to follow the crowd. Yeah, this ain't high school. You you gotta like move a little bit differently.
Yeah, and then I guess my last thing will be about like advice with that type of stuff. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who currently go there, like students and alums and all that, because I'm telling you, them alums, they love to help. I don't care what school you go to, PWI, HBCU, them alums want to help. So don't be afraid to reach out to them, and don't be afraid to reach out to current professors that work on campus. They might be able to tell you, like, come tour, and I'll tour, give you a tour around the school and all of that. Just don't be afraid. Just use Google to help you find, where you want to be in the school and stuff. So that's pretty much the advice I can get him.
That was a lot of good advice. I hope y'all paying attention, because he just gave y'all some gems. I think you said a lot of what I was thinking about. I was also going to just say, like, do your research, kind of what he was saying, like, figure out like who's on campus, and like there's ways to meet people at a prospective college that you're thinking about going to before you go to the college. So we both use Zeme. It was like this app.
I did use Zeme.
It was this group chat app, and then you would basically just like kind of talk to people that are thinking about going to different schools. But the cool thing is you can put every school on there. So if you want to go put like 15 schools and just be texting everyone, you can just get the vibe of who's coming in.
Yeah, but you can also do that on Instagram, because I know for a fact,
and they do those pages.
Yeah, I had a friend who I think she wanted to go to Southern or something.
Yeah.
So she asked somebody at Southern, like she just, I guess, like typed in Southern University, and I guess somebody who had like the location tag, she texted this girl,
that's cool.
And she was like, this and that. Like, it ain't got to be no follow or anything, not no scam stuff. But the girl responded, and she gave her honest opinion about it.
That's cool.
And she was, it helped her.
Yeah. I would say with that one, it's like you kind of, that could be
risky.
That could be hit or miss.
Everybody gonna respond.
Especially like for a dude, they gonna think like, oh, is this dude just trying to like hop down or something? Like if you come respectful, most of the time, the people that you want to get information from, they're going to give it to you. Whoever doesn't, you probably didn't want their information in the first place. So last thing I just have to say is do you know what I'm saying? Figure out what is the best option for you, because I know a lot of times in our community, people will be like, why are you trying to go to that school? Or they'll like look down on you if you try to go to like a PWI or whatever. But it's like, if you feel like that's the best thing for you, go ahead and do it. And just make it that, you know what I'm saying? But make sure that you're able to stand your ground and explain to people why you chose what you chose, you know what I'm saying? And so that people can understand, hey, he's not just trying to get in with certain crowds. He's really just trying to build a better education. Or he's really just trying to find friends in this region. Yeah. Whatever it is for you.
And use your resources. Like, most importantly, just use your resources. Like, we got so much at our fingertips these days.
No, it's so much, man. So just get out there, find what's best for you. But hopefully this video was informational. Hopefully we gave y'all some good nuggets. I feel like it was pretty good. And we're going to catch y'all on the next one. We out this one. All right. Catch y'all later.
Catch y'all.